Donald Trump is the man who has divided a nation, commanding a crowd that loves him and a crowd that hates him so much that they watch his every move. As powerful as this position may be, his life has been anything but stable. In this video, we'll be going over Trump's rise to power and fall from grace, covering the details in between and seeing where everything went wrong. And stick around until the end of the video to see just how he's been able to get back on the winning side. Rising riches. Born on June 14, 1946, Donald Trump was born into a rich family headed by his father, Fred Trump, a successful real estate developer and investor. Aside from investing into his family empire, Fred Trump also invested in his children's future. This came in the form of a trust fund that ensured all 5 of his children, Donald included, were receiving their fair share of money by just existing.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
This investment meant that Donald Trump was earning $60,000 a year as early as 3 years old, which is more than what most people make in their 40s. This huge stack of cash, along with the close mentorship of his father, were early signs that Donald Trump was being set up for greatness. As soon as Donald Trump graduated from Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in 1968, he immediately hit the ground running and started work under his dad. While under Fred's wing, Donald Trump was awarded multiple real estate projects, all of which were tailor-fit for Donald Trump. By tailor-fit, we don't mean it fits Donald's skill set. Rather, it made sure that each project gave Donald the most amount of money for the least amount of work. But while this does make Donald Trump sound like a spineless, skillless trust fund baby, there was something about Donald that his father took notice of as well. Donald Trump was a talker, an influencer, and because of his influence, he would take his father's company to newer and bigger heights, and along with it, his own personal brand. Rise to fame. As Trump's father passed, the empire was eventually handed over to Donald Trump, and he was more than happy to take over the reins. Now, instead of investing in practical real estate products like housing or land, Donald Trump was diving into the luxury real estate market. From high-rise buildings like the Trump Tower in New York City to the luxurious Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, Trump wanted his name to be synonymous with wealth. Trump used the money he'd gotten from his trust fund and his father's business and used it to make himself look as rich as possible. His private helicopter was outfitted with golden studs and interior. His private jet was custom-made with golden trims. Heck, maybe that's why he himself looks so golden right now. Gotta love the spray tan, Mr. Trump. All this luxury wasn't just for his own pleasure. Trump wanted the attention on him so that he could now pivot into a whole other business, show business. As soon as the Trump name became synonymous with luxury, he started getting movie and TV show deals. After some notable appearances on TV with celebrities, he eventually landed on his greatest project to date, The Apprentice. The Apprentice was the show that made the Donald Trump name a household name. First aired in 2004, contestants competed in business-related tasks under the supervision of Donald Trump. The show was so popular that the merch began selling like hotcakes. During the height of the show, you wouldn't be surprised to see Donald Trump's face plastered everywhere, from books to bobbleheads. This show not only gave Trump a boost in fame, but it also gave Trump a boost in confidence. He now knew that the people of America loved him, and it's this love that pushed him to the podium. Political race. The political race in 2015 might just have been the most chaotic and controversial presidential race of all time. On the Democratic side, we have Hillary Clinton, a favorite amongst the Democratic Party. On the Republican side, we have the golden boy himself, Donald Trump, whose main selling point for the Republican money was his huge influence, his financial skills, and his love for America. All throughout Trump's political campaign, he'd been using his influence on the masses, convincing them that passion and financial genius were enough to actually run the Oval Office. And of course, people bought it. Trump managed to convince just the right amount of people that loving America meant he could run the country. Trump achieved this by making his speeches simpler and easier to digest than Hillary's speeches, which were well thought out and fluent. This strategy made Hillary look like a candidate that thought she was better than everyone, and made Donald Trump look like the people's man. Funny, considering Donald Trump's net worth was more than all the people who were supporting him. As the nation was now being split between people who hated Trump and people who hated Hillary, things would finally come to a head in 2016, when Hillary Clinton's emails were hacked to reveal she'd been sending out classified information to her campaign manager, leading to allegations of mishandling sensitive material. But Hillary would fire back at Trump, revealing Trump's lewd comments about women and other controversial takes that you would find on your typical Twitter user. Each side was now gunning for each other's personal lives, but only one would come out on top. On November 8, 2016, Donald Trump would officially win the presidential race, and America would never be the same again. Political disgrace. Surprise, surprise, it takes more than loving America to run America, and it sure isn't anything like running a business. The first political disgrace came from his comments on immigrants in the United States, even going so far as to propose a literal wall to bar any Muslims or immigrants getting in, a plan that was played off as a joke because of how preposterous it was. But this joke was Trump sending a message to America that they could do whatever they want. Another political disgrace that Trump has caused would be his Russian interference. During the campaign, U.S. intelligence agencies concluded that Russia had interfered in the election to undermine Hillary Clinton's candidacy and boost Trump's chances of winning. This not only put Trump's win in question, but also his entire dedication to America. The third political disgrace is one that's still ongoing: Donald Trump's tax returns. Trump broke with tradition by refusing to release his tax returns during the campaign, inciting an audit that only recently showed that Trump has been paying the least amount of taxes possible. This, people, is what's called a felony. But what's definitely not legal is instigation. On January 6, 2021, Donald Trump's supporters would breach the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., while Congress was in the process of certifying the Electoral College results of the 2020 presidential election, which declared Joe Biden as the winner. While Donald Trump's claims that his hands were clean from the riots and that his supporters were acting on their own, multiple speeches by Donald Trump claiming that he and his followers would take a stand against the Capitol were clearly evidence. So now that Donald Trump's presidency is crashing right before our eyes, where does he go from here? Luckily for him and unluckily for us, this is America, the land of the free. Now that Donald Trump is facing nearly 100 felony criminal charges from 3 separate jurisdictions, most of which are calling Trump a brazen criminal, where does he go from here? Well, it looks like he's going straight to the ballots. While Trump has multiple charges stacked against him, his supporters have stood unfazed. Currently, Trump is still the front runner for the Republican Party primary, and at this rate it looks like he's en route to regain his presidency. While some states have registered Donald Trump a felon, Colorado and Maine respectively, this still wouldn't be enough to stop Donald Trump from running for office. The American government is designed in such a way where even when entire states are barred from voting you, you could still win a seat at the White House. But of course, this presidency still isn't guaranteed. One way that things could go completely wrong for Donald Trump would be if he pleads guilty in the 4 criminal cases he's involved in.
You got me.
While these criminal cases are still up for debate, it should be common sense to not vote for the candidate with multiple felonies, yet here we are. Only time will tell if Donald Trump's rise to glory is going to end up with him in the White House or in the jailhouse.